Good morning. Today is Saturday, February 12th, and so my February 11th spread did not make it up on the site on time. I mean, I really did record it, like, I'm not even gonna talk about it, but it was really late and it's still like in this uploading moment because it just happened. And so I'm doing Saturdays, but anyways, it's the whole thing. I didn't get behind. I'm still doing them, but technology and time really got away from me. So I'm hoping that today, Saturday the 12th, I will, both of these will appear. So the 11th will be up, as well as this spread I'm going to do right now for today. And then if all goes well today, I'm going to really try to get on top of my schedule so I can get Sundays ready and Mondays as well, because as I noted, this week was a really fun week, I should say. I went to a movie. Tuesday I went to a basketball game. On Wednesday, Thursday and Friday I went out for drinks with colleagues after work. I mean, and then I have guests over, my stepdad came to visit and spent the night yesterday, and that was just a whole bunch of stuff going on. So it's been fun and things I just wouldn't even have thought to do, like December, I wasn't thinking of being this social in any month. But I gotta say that really sticking to the schedule of doing these readings daily into my other things that I do, my work and my family stuff, and has really pushed me to want to do more social things. I go to lunch with friends at work, and I should be like friend at work. But in general, it's been a really good week. It was a really busy week because of all these other social activities that I was doing in the evenings. And so it definitely kind of took some time away from when I not only record them, but when I post them, because that does take a little while. And so I'm behind now, but I'm getting them all done. And I think by tomorrow, or even today, I'll have both. I hopefully should have that. Friday should be up, and then today's will be up, and then hopefully I won't fall behind on tomorrow, and I will figure out how to balance out all this socializing with everything else I want to do. But it's been a fun week. Now, today, on this day, Bridget, I think I'm saying it right, Bridget maybe, both a pagan deity and a Catholic saint, is celebrated on this day, February 12th. And she's the spirit of healing, poetry, and music. And she is the patron of artists, poets, craftspeople, and livestock. This spread uses her fiery, regenerative qualities to inform questions of what stirs inside you. So we're going to cast the card in the shape of her cross. At least I'm going to try. We'll see how much space I have here. So it's 9 questions. Let's see if we can get this going. Let's see if I go up here. Does that work? I think so. All right, so we're gonna go 1, 2. This will be like the center here. 3. Okay. We'll go 4 and 5. I think that's all gonna make the camera. And then we'll go 6 and 7. And we're gonna go, wait, 8 and 9. Hold on, let's do this like this. Third card. Yeah, I think like that. And I think everything more or less makes it into the shot here. Let's see. Sorry, a pet peeve of mine is if I'm going to watch a reader on YouTube, I really want them to just get going with the reading. And I'm usually like, oh my gosh, I need to hear all this other stuff. And yet here we are doing the exact same thing, because that is the contradiction of life. All right, here we go. Let's see what it is that, we can, how Bridget's fiery, qualities can inform questions of what is stirring inside you. So this first one up here is going to be, what are you dreaming of? And there's this 10 of Cups. So I'm just going to go let's just see, you're really dreaming of a happily ever after. You want your fairy tale, like you want your prince or your princess, and you want to, ride off into the sun, have a family, and live happily ever after. That is what you are dreaming of. I'm not getting more than that, but let's keep going and see what is, it says, what is it possible? So like, is this possible? So there's the Hermit. Huh. Okay, so I just got this message that your desire, like this is what you're dreaming of, but it's not super possible if you're living more of a hermit type of life. So if you're, not going out to meet somebody, then it's going to be hard to have the happily ever after if you're not putting yourself in a situation where you can potentially meet that prince or princess that you're dreaming of. And so there's something about this hermit spirit that can be blocking that from you. One other really specific message I'm getting is to call on your spirit guides to light the path for you to know what to do so you can get closer to this happily ever after that you're dreaming of. Let me go to the next card and see. We might come, I think we're going to end up coming back to that because that hermit, it's a really strong presence and strong energy. So I'm trying to really be clear as to why it's coming in here. And I'm getting these two messages, right? One is called to your spirit team to light, or your spirit, like you have one very specific guide or ancestor that you, or archangel or someone that you work with. It's time to really listen to what they're saying, to use their light to guide you. And so don't be fooled by that. Like, you're getting messages and you need, you should be following those. Those will guide you to that person, that happily ever after situation. Now, if you're in a relationship, this could just be speaking about, maybe you have some, not doubts, but you get some fears. Like sometimes you get fearful about losing the happily ever after. This is just a reminder to call to your spirit guide and really listen to the suggestions that they're providing and the guidance, through their light, to what you should do to maintain, if this is a dream and you're already living it and it's the dream you don't want to lose. The other message really is that you're not going to achieve this happily ever after if you're in a state of not going out. Now, we have been living in a time over like the last 2 years where we have been restricted from being maybe as social as we would like or could be. But this is just a reminder that you can't, you can obviously dream of this, but it's not going to be possible if you continue to live in a state of solitude or isolation. Because there's nothing wrong with having moments of reflection by yourself. You just don't want to make that the norm if that's what you're desiring, right? What you're dreaming about. So in this third spot is, how do I start? And you have the Six of Swords. And this is going to be a very clear message, just like the first card about what you're dreaming about. So how do you start? You need to move towards what you want. Again, if this is what you want and this is how you've been living, the way you're going to start is by moving towards this and getting out of that space. So it's just about jumping in your canoe and start oaring towards where you want to go. What is it that you want to do? So it's just a matter of moving with action, with thought and action towards the dream that you have. In this number 4 spot here, we have the Knight of Pentacles, and it's, why must I do this now? Well, Knight of Pentacles is slow and steady energy, very grounded, loyal, committed, abundant, materially abundant, and it's a slow and steady pace, not fast moving energy. To achieve this happily ever after, this message here, as you start moving towards that, I'm seeing these swords, these 6 swords in the canoe. It's like you might need, you got to meet some people, date a little bit, start, getting good, have those moments of reflection, but don't overdo them so you can start meeting somebody. It's going to be a slow and steady road to get you to, you know, meeting a person. Maybe you need to meet several people before you land on the one that really, you know, connects and aligns with you. And so building a relationship that ends up, you know, in, and you know, children can represent multiple things. It could be birthing a business idea together, it could be buying a home together, some, you know, getting a pet, like whatever it is that you and your partner end up doing together, that you cultivate, that you blossom together, all of that comes from a really good foundation that you need to set up. And that doesn't happen overnight. Yes, we hear about these, you know, love at first sight, and you know, we met and 2 days later we're like professing our love for each other, now we're getting married, you know, within 3 days, whatever it is. What this is saying is that the dream that you have is going to be best, or it's going to work the way that you're dreaming of it through this, you know, through this work that you're doing now. So when you, if you like, and you need to decide it now. So when it's like, how do I get there? I need to start moving towards it. Maybe it's through dating and finding different ways, like to really plan out, what is it that I want? Like, I'm this old, or I'm, you know, I want to, maybe you're getting out of a relationship and you want to give yourself a little bit of time, you know, well, how much time, you know, if you have it and you want, you know, what is it that you're wanting this dream, this happily ever after to look like and include, you know, you make that, you write that up, you visualize that, and then you start going towards it, and you know that to get there, you know, you acknowledge that on this boat right here towards that, this is acknowledging that it's not a fast and quick journey. It's going to be a slow and steady. There'll be people that may not work, that you're going to need to, but if you know that this is your path, this is the dream, you're okay doing that. But this is why you want to start now, because it's not going to be something that happens overnight. It's something that's going to take some time. And you would want it to, I would think, right? Like, that's the message I'm getting, is that you know that. And so sometimes dreams tend to get sort of placed in the back burner because time is just something that really seems to get us all caught up in knots. When we start to see how long things might take, that moves us away from wanting to continue towards them. And this is saying, don't give up hope on that, but also acknowledge it so that you're steady. You know, you want a solid foundation in a relationship that's gonna, you know, manifest into this beautiful 10 of Cups life. You know, what is your secret weapon? Wheel of Fortune. Again, I'm really loving how quick and like these messages are super clear. So what is your secret weapon? That you really at the core, like, you understand. If this was just one straight message like this, if I was reading it this way, or actually anyway, if you want to go either direction in this diagonal, Wheel of Fortune is the full knowing. So it's two, right? Not two. It's, here's a message for Wheel of Fortune. One, you know that life is cyclical. It's really not linear, right? Like, we might be moving years consecutively up, you know, our age, but life isn't a straight line or a direct line to somewhere. It's like a circle that has no end and no beginning, right? Even though we have a day when we're born and a day when we die, but we're more than that, and you know that. And so you know that in the circle of the life that we're in, that you're in, it's not going to be just this really clear journey. And so when you're in this space of the Wheel of Fortune, you knowing that, you also acknowledge that you know to have that complete surrender, that what is, if you can think about it, like, it's already yours. If you can imagine it, it's because in some place, space, you know, it exists for you, and you understand that. So you have, when you have that full faith and surrender to what is meant to be yours is yours, and you know, if you can think it up, it's because it already exists somewhere for you. Then you know that it's going to take time. You know, you're going to have to put some work in it, and maybe you haven't been able to, like these last few years, or you had like a bad relationship and it's taking a little while to, you know, you've been focused on your career, or you've been focused on other family members, or whatever it is has kept you not focusing on this, on your personal life in this way that you really do dream about. So when you are fully, you know, as your secret weapon is, you know, all of this. And so and you know it in a very grounded way. Like, you understand that. So, and you know that the journey will be slow and steady, but it's going to be worth it because you're moving towards what you were dreaming about. And you have moments where you pause and reflect. You have a spiritual team, made up of, you know, one main, whether it's an angel, ancestors, always there's somebody that really stands out that you can call to help continually light your road and your journey and guide you. You also know that sometimes you need to hit that reset button and spend some time with yourself to really um it's not even right? It's like just looking over your dream and your plan and what it is that you want. And so there is those moments of pause. You also know that just being in that energy, which seems like you've been in that energy for a really long time, like this is, you have been thinking about this, but maybe you've been single, or you've been in a relationship that you just got out of that lasted longer than it should have, or you've been so focused on your work that you're just now waking up to, oh shoot, what happened to my personal life? Like, that has been there for a while, but you do have guides, and you know that through this Wheel of Fortune, this is your good luck. What did they say? Like, your good luck, your secret weapon. That's what I said, your secret weapon. And you know this. And so all of this energy does continually lead you to the dream of this happily ever after. And that's how you can use the Wheel of Fortune energy as your secret weapon. Let's see. Then we go to this. Number 6 is up here. And that is, let's see. Hold on. Why is this journey essential? And we have here the Knight of Swords. So this is an essential journey. So just like how this Knight of Pentacles is slow and steady energy, and it's very grounded, and he's very firm and planted on the ground, and it's the foundation and the structure, and you need that. And that was in a position of why must you do this now. Why this journey is essential is you've really thought about it, and you're really clear. You've been clear on it. So this is really about your personal life. And so there's this dream of this fairy tale. You could be maybe your parents, your grandparents, someone in your life. You have a couple that you model, that you've seen, like how they met, how they fell in love, they created this family, you're a part of it, and that's been a beautiful symbol for you to want to model and how relationships work. What's happened though is that due to career, maybe just life circumstances of different things, time has paused on your personal life, and has really a light has been shown on other areas of your life. And so this Knight of Swords, in regards to this journey being essential, is that in this moment, not like this slow and steady energy that you need to now focus on to achieve this. In a different way, this Knight of Swords has suddenly come in like a lightning bolt and really opened up your mind to sort of wake up from this hermit energy and say, uh-oh, like, what am I doing? And I wanted this. So where am I on this journey to get that? And so this Knight of Swords reminds you that this journey is essential to achieving this dream, and that it was time right now for you to have this thought awakening. This like comes in through your crown chakra and really lights up the message that there were other dreams you had in your, for your life that have been they haven't been acknowledged. They haven't been like, you haven't been working towards them. They sort of took a back burner to other areas of your life. And this Knight of Swords really comes in really fast, clear with the message that this journey is essential for you to have that wholeness. You have the career, the material, the health, the friendships, all these different things, but to have this ultimate 10 of Cups, it also needs to be acknowledged, and work needs to be done to achieve it, right? Which through this secret weapon of the Wheel of Fortune. And that it's going to take time, but you need to start moving towards it right now. And this Knight of Swords brought that message to you today by telling you, hey, don't forget about this part of your life, because this is a dream that you have. You can have other desires. Yes, the reading for yesterday is about like those desires, right? And that could be very, career oriented. This is telling you one of we can all hold multiple dreams at once, and so we want to have the great job and the great title and the career and the money and all of that. But here you're saying, and I also want a family, and I want someone to share that with, a special person to share my life with, and see what we can grow and birth together. And so this is this quick message. I mean, it's not a quick message, but it came in really fast and very clear to remind you that this was at one point, this is still a dream of yours. And so gotta get out of here, or look to your ancestors and your guides to hear those messages. But it's time to start doing the work, moving towards achieving that goal of having, this dream of having this family. So in this 7th spot here, we have, what gifts does Bridget offer me? We have the 7 of Cups. So what she's offering you are options and choices. And I think that's very telling to even this, in this 3rd spot, which is how do you start? And it's like, just start moving towards that desired, that dream that you have. And I even, we mentioned like these swords can be, it might not be the first person you meet, right? And right here, Bridget's offering you that there will be a lot of different cups and options. Now, this also has a bit of a shadow element, and the message I am getting here is that shadow element is back to this hermit energy, which is, say you understand all of these parts. You have your secret weapon, you're clear on what you want. You know what, I'm feeling really great, I have my job, I have all these parts that I need. There's always going to be more work to do in every part of your life, but you're pretty good in all areas. And so it's time now to start focusing on this dream of having this happily ever after. So I'm going to get going on that. And so this 7 of Cups is like, yeah, it's going to be fun. You're going to have all these different people, like you're going to date and you're going to meet different people. And it's going to be it's going to be exciting. It's an exciting time, right? To start getting out there and dating and doing that. The shadow element of the 7 of Cups tells you that, maybe it's been a few months, right? And you're like, okay, I know it's the Knight of Pentacles. I know it's not going to happen overnight. But oh my gosh, these have been some really bad dates. Or gosh, now I haven't gone out for a few weeks. So I really like that one person and I thought we had a connection, but they didn't follow through. And so while all of that is true, right, as you're moving towards what you're looking for and you have all these options, the shadow part will start making you doubt the decision and then fall back into this isolated energy, this hermit solitude. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with the hermit card. We all need those moments of rest and, to recharge. We don't have to be single to do them though, right? Or we don't have to stop searching for love if we still need to do those pauses to reset. And this 7 of Cups, there's a small, there's like a little asterisk with a little warning, which is as you're dating and you're meeting different people, each person you date doesn't have to be the last person you date. Like sometimes you just want to date different people and they can be different things and they can mean different things and they have different lessons that they teach you. And sometimes it's a bummer because if it's going, well, after a month or 2, you're like, that's it. And it's kind of like, I'm done, I'm here. And it's like, no, there's a whole process. And when you'll know. And so sometimes when there's even the slightest bit of uncertainty, you might want to not continue, going towards that direction, or maybe something comes up in work and you're the one that isn't following through because now you're really busy with work and stuff. And so it's just this 7 of Cups is this message from Bridget today that's reminding you that on this journey, you're going to have a lot of, and you should want different people that you meet in different encounters, different experiences. When something isn't going perfect or isn't going great, you don't want to just fall back into old patterns. You also don't want to forget the journey you're on and then you slip out of this because you start refocusing too much on work and things like that. So that 7 of Cups, she's just coming in and she's saying she's with you on this journey. She knows that you want this, you want to find your prince or princess, you want to find your match, your partner, your life partner. And on the journey, it's going to take some time. It's a slow and steady. You understand that, that this is the way that the wheel of, life sort of works up and down, and you have a clear vision of what, you know, of this, giving this like its due place in your life. It's important. You want it to be a priority. You're moving towards it. But with this, you know, as you see all of these opportunities and it's going really great, there might be some days or some moments when it doesn't. And you might have some of those cups that seem gray and then they're not the person, they're someone else, you know. And so with that, you just don't want to give up on it and then recognize it, it's right. Remember, the clarifier to this is this Knight of Pentacles. So it's the reminder that it's going to be slow and steady. So just take your time and don't give up on it too soon. And also don't get too anxious in the moment that any person you're dating needs to be the one immediately. Like, don't be afraid to date like different people. You know, you can be honest and transparent with them, and, you know, you're on your path and so are they. How can you honor and thank Bridget for what she's offering in this spread and how she's being clear, you know, how she's bringing this message forward, and then even offering the Seven of Cups as, you know, sort of her offering to you. How can you honor and thank her? This King of Pentacles, I think it's you know, really it's interesting. So this King of Cups here is going to be her message to you. So how you can thank her and what her ultimate message is. First, we have a lot of people here, so I definitely go back to that idea. You have 2 knights and 2 kings, and the hermit. So I will say that while we're not trying to bring too much gender in, this can definitely not, it can be, it's fluid to how your own identities. There is a lot of really strong male energy here that can be coming in. And so some is a little more like they're bringing the message directly for you here in this spread. They can also represent people that will be coming in and out of your life. And so some energy is coming in really quickly. Some is going to come in slow and steady. Some is going to really, you know, bring this emotional mastery to you. So how you're thankful to Bridget for the spread today and this message that she brought forward to the collective is through following suit like this Knight of Pentacles, is by really honoring her and thanking her, like energy and spirit, in a very rooted, committed, loyal way. So you're understanding that, you know, what she's bringing forward isn't a shortcut or a cheat sheet to achieving the dream, but it's a blueprint of a journey that's going to take time and you know, so you honor that by one-upping your own, you know, messenger of slow and steady, and you take your seat, that throne, and you know you set roots. You know that's what you're going for. You know that you have all this abundance at your reach, and so you're grateful for her in that way. If you wanted to offer her, you know, her cross is symbolic to her. It's like I forget. I know there's something that it's made of, and so this is why the cross is supposed to be. But I do know that I think it's in Ireland where she celebrated, people will place bread on like a windowsill for her, or corn. And so, you know, that's very earth energy, right? Bread, corn. So on one message would be like, literally, how can you thank her? Would be that today, February 12th, maybe you light a tea light candle and offer a little slice of bread, or you know, if you have corn, or like I said, like a little piece of bread, a muffin or something that you might have, like an earth type, you know, food that you want to offer her as a way to say thank you for this message today. If this resonates with you and you recognize that this is where you are, and that there is a dream of having a family or a life partner to share your life with, and this message of the trajectory of how you can be on this journey to get to that person, and the road that it's going to take, you can thank her for this message today by lighting a little tea candle or any candle and offering her substance, you know, a piece of bread, you know, a meal. It really depends, but there's, you know, I do know that bread and corn and, you know, food like that, well, there are offerings that people do, and I want to say it's in Ireland. So that would be some way, a less tangible, literal way of thanking her, like I was saying, is just honoring her by staying the path and knowing that this, you know, dream is in your reach. And you do that by by really being in that energy of committed to it, rooted to it, understanding that it's going to take a while, but the journey leads to this 10 of Cups. And so you honor her by continuing the road and not trying to get through it too quickly and you know, settling, right, for maybe who isn't the best person but the person right now, and knowing that there's going to be, you know, hits and misses and all this stuff, and it's process to make relationships work and get to know them. So you really honor her in that way. And also, like I said, you can offer her some bread or cracker cookie or something today. You want to offer her, like if you have an altar, you can do that. If not, a windowsill would be nice too, and you can place some food there. And then what her message is to you is this. It's the King of Cups, like I said, you know, in a very removing gender, just symbolically, what is coming to you is a strong personality that is very secure in their emotions, very comfortable expressing them and listening to yours, and being that person that cares and takes care of you. Like this person that will be the partner to your happily ever after exists, and they're there for you, and they're just waiting for you to get out of this energy and jump into that dating pool, start going towards that, however that looks for you in your area. And what's possible for you. I don't know if it's going out and socializing, if it's a dating app, if it's word of mouth and asking your friends to set you up. However it is, you know, there's multiple possibilities on how you get that going, and there's going to be multiple possibilities that are going to be coming in, and you're clear on that. You know it's going to take a while. You know that there's going to be, like I said, that's just the circle of life. We know all of these things. You're thankful to her, and you understand the role of meditation and isolation versus just choosing solitude and being upset or being not living your fullest best life that you can by honoring the dream and going for it. You don't want to use the hermit spirit that way. You want to use it for those moments of resetting for yourself and taking note and meditating. But all through this, the final message here is that the King of Cups is in your vortex of what is available to you, what you've thought about, like in this wheel, like your secret weapon. You know that this King of Cups, or, you know, again, gender aside, look at it more from the symbolism of what a king represents, and cups being really heart energy and emotion. Just know that that King of Cups that make you this complete, you know, family setting does exist for you. And she is confirming that through this message, that that person is there for you. You're that person to somebody. And it's just, it's a process. It's a journey that isn't going to be quick. And there'll be some, you know, different experiences along the way. We're not getting any message of disappointment, but we're definitely getting the Seven of Cups message that, you know, it might feel like a bummer when maybe you date someone for 6 months or, you know, a year, and you're just like, oh, what didn't work? It's not, well, okay, but what did we learn from that? And then let's not let that be the end. Let's keep it going, because we know that your person is out there, and they're waiting for you, just as you're heading towards them. And I'm going to stop right there, and I will see you tomorrow, February 13th. Fingers crossed that these two last readings will post up before that.